monster and the managers of the monster at home and outside were in for a very big problems. And so the tiny little peanuts they are being given, many of our elders, many of those who are opportunistic, they found themselves in places whether as civil servants or as politicians, are the problems of this country, not the majority poor who don't even know what is going on.
And majority of us belong to that last part he just mentioned. I remember that some time ago on this platform, some members of the Temple of Truth, they said, Mayegun, you see all this crisis that we are seeing, it's not because of land though. It is what is underneath the land. There are even people walking on the land. They have no idea of what is buried under the land that they call their ancestral land. That if people understand what is under those ground, under those land, and those who know what they are worth and what they will do to get to them, they will not take it with levity. The crisis of the Fulani armed terrorists spreading beyond northern Nigeria today. Omo, it is true. It is real. Because they will be shooting and be killing people in their different communities. And you will be asking, what happened? What's going on? What did they do? No, they've not done anything. The only crime they have committed is that they are occupying what they call their ancestral land. They are occupying the most precious, the most valuable asset ever in the world, buried under the land, that they are just farming. They just want to farm. The innocent people, our people in those communities, they just want to farm. Those who are farmers, they just want to use their land, grow their food, feed themselves, their family, sell some of them off, make some money, and live a standard life. But guess what? They are now going to be endangered. And in this case, right, it doesn't even matter anymore. I remember when somebody told me that some geologists from Canada were the one, in fact, what am I saying? It was the former governor of Ogun State, Benga Gbewiri Daniel. In one of his Buga period then, as a governor, he said, and I remember this, I might be younger, I might be very young then, but I was very politically conscious. You know what he said? He said, some geologists in faraway Canada, when they are running their tests, it's not even like an institution running a test. It was just like a geology department in one university in Canada who developed a tool that could use the satellite coverage, tap from it, and discover natural resources where they are domiciled all over the world. Guess what? In their research, they discovered the liquid natural gas that is buried under the ground of the people of Ogun State, Ogun Water side. So the governor had no resources, nothing to, he didn't even have the political will to develop them. But guess what? They came with accurate information about something that the people of Ogun Water side had no idea of. If you are from Ogun Water side in Ogun State right now, and so many other places right now in southwest Nigeria, yeah, many of you are working on liquid natural gas, gases that could power your turbines to provide electricity for your homes, power your homes, yeah, at the same time provide industrial gas, whatever you want to call it, liquid natural gas, more valuable than this crude oil and the rest. It was discovered by just ordinary students from Canada. Chinese discovered that there is a monumental deposit of gold, raw gold, in the areas that covers from Osun to Oyo, Okeogun, and all those areas. Then down, I'm saying down, go back up. All those axes there. the people there who are currently being sort of classified, or who have become the victims of the corrupt system of Nigeria, who has made them poorer, they are working on gold discovered by Chinese from China. And the men they saw that, they came down straight to Nigeria. So that's what this is what Al-Mustafa was referring to. There are people who have to be educated. Sometimes you are seeing proxy war in the name of religion, in the name of tribe, and so many other ones like that. But there are more behind them when you see those who are genuinely sponsoring them. But Nigeria knows them. In chaos. Let me play that
in
again.
your onshore, offshore locations. The memo was submitted
GMD of NM.
You know what I'm talking about. You can Google as I talk. What is californium? Californium.
Is a state in the United States?
No. It's a precious stone.
Oh, not California.
That's why I want to tell you this.
Californium.
Neum. Californium in today's market, Google and tell me the price before I finish talking. In today's market today, in the world market today, one may ask, in Borno State, there is Boko Haram. There are areas that are still mined, now no-go area. The weather is harsh. It's very unfriendly. It's a small place. But there is something the international community with the connivance of Nigeria. Every day you have NGOs
coming into,
and they are hiring houses from 10 years, 20 years and above. And once you give them the price, they don't ask, they just pay. What are they doing? Why are most of them coming with satellite telephones? Why are most of them coming with PCs that are working with the same satellite telephones?
Computers that are working directly with satellite.
How come most of them come under the guise of supportive activities to the poor? They are giving them medication. Did the Ministry of Health bother to discover the type of medicine they are giving to the poor? How come there is increase in kidney and cancer, kidney and liver and cancer problems in Borno? How come it is attacking old people? How come the NGOs live in the wee hours of the night where soldiers dread to go? Police, security men cannot go. They go this californium do they take per day? How much is a gram of californium in world market today? Who has Google to know? 27,100,000 per gram. $1 million. I didn't say naira. Yes, it's the most expensive thing.
Do we have it in Nigeria?
In abundance in Borno State. That's what started the Boko Haram. That's the game. Are we aware? How can we be ignorant of our country, of our place, of what God has given to us? If we don't know your country.
You know, listen. Now, let me do a quick check with you so that it won't sound like, oh, man, that's ridiculous, Jerry. That's impossible. You know, Google is very easy, and you can read everything about californium on that same Google as well, okay? Well, let me see if I can show you something. A quick one. Sorry if you see me looking up. That's me looking at my screen. Let's see. Let's go search for californium. So you have lithium. Do you know that all those Tesla cars, all those electric cars that are being produced, all these, what do you call it? The batteries for them, including the batteries for your iPhone and some of the mobile phones that you have, all our phones that you see, part of the component used, you know, are there, even in Kwara, yeah? So when you see them killing people in Kwara, you should cover the areas that are being attacked, right? And check what are the resources that can be found in those part of areas they are being attacked. You will realize that it's not about their cows, it's not about the land, it is even more than that. Now, they say, how much is californium? Californium price. Now, I'm coming on. So then you have to figure out and be like, or more. You will realize that there is more to it. What is californium? Now, let's see if I even got that right, the spelling. Right. Why californium is so expensive. And look at this. And let's see if I can bring up a picture. I don't know if it's clear on your screen, okay? But let's try, right? According to them, when they extract it, this is what it's going to look like. Give me a sec. Oh, why do I keep bringing this up? Right. So this is where the cost or the price, as you might want to look at, right? This is what they said, that if you have 100 grams of it, you are a multi-billionaire. But for them to extract some of this stuff, they have to chase all of the occupants, the indigenous people from those areas. They have to chase them out anyway, anyhow. So a lot of people are now like buying into it. Kings, royal fathers, community, they are willingly just like, okay, just give us some money, take the land and say we sold the land for you. Or you can still give us, you know what I mean? You still give us something. Now, all of these are just pointers from what this guy just said. They are just pointers to what you can say the link to this crisis. That some of them are really not things you can explain. Just like, what is the reason for all of these killings? Now they are beginning to make sense, if you ask me. You know, I don't know if you have heard this, that the central bank governor of Nigeria is on the run. Well, it's not a joke. That's exactly how the media reported it. Emefiele, they are at the verge of declaring Emefiele wanted. The people that have allowed him to impoverish Nigerians through the bogus criminal economic policies that you can easily refer, that we easily refer to as Buharinomics. It's like they are done with him. They are just here to get him chained. So the report is that Emefiele is in America. He was expected to return back to Nigeria just about 2 days ago. But you see, this rumor that they are looking for him seems to be very real. I'll tell you. Shebi, you know that Emefiele said nothing is going to change his policy, the withdrawal policy. There's already crisis about the Palaro money that he just gave to you. There's already wahala on that. But put that aside. The real one that is making his own sponsor to start hunting for him today is the policy that they cannot withdraw more than 100,000 in a week. And I say, whatever, you cannot withdraw more than 500,000. So for you to know that the pressure is working, and it is possible that indeed they are done with him. The Aura Secret Service will never carry out any operation without the approval of the Presidency. The Presidency is where Bokwari is, Femi Opono Adesina, Garbage Shehu, and the rest of them like that. So the Aura Secret Service doesn't act. So if the Aura Secret Service says they want to take Emefiele, the central bank governor of Nigeria, then you must have the blessing of the Presidency of Nigeria. So somehow, Emefiele started to adjust. He increased your minimum withdrawal from 100,000 a week to 500,000 now. It has been increased. And as an organization, you can withdraw more than 1 million now, up to 5 million. Now, in fact, you can actually withdraw all you want. But what Emefiele said is that if you are withdrawing as an individual, if you are withdrawing more than 500,000 naira in a week, you are going to pay between 3% and 5% of that money to the central bank. So if you need 10 million, you can take your money out. There's no problem. What happens is that you'll be paying 3 to 5% of that money to them. But the process of you withdrawing the money is another step entirely that Emefiele put up. You have to present your international passport, national ID card. You have to present 2 shorties that knows what you want to use the money for. Your branch manager must write a letter to say he has seen all the evidence that you needed the money and what you needed the money for. After that, after documenting all of that, they can then release you can then cash your 10 million naira, 20 million naira, or any million naira you want to cash. Then you pay the tax on it. That's a Emefiele policy. But it seems that the criminals in Nigeria, somehow, they felt like it's targeted at them. You decrease, you get this audacity. After figuring the whole thing out, arrest him. Now, they said Emefiele. They are usually, Emefiele was the guy who once said, "Sure, you won't fight me. Oh yeah, come, let's go."
Those who feel they want to support him, to fight me, come out. Let's fight.
fight. Come out. Let's fight. That Emefiele now is so scared, according to their media, to return to Nigeria until he gets a clearance, green light from the presidency that, oh, see, God doing. They come, no worry. Don't worry about what the media are saying. Come home. Without the green light, Emefiele would rather say the seminar he won't do for China. He decided to just go from America to China to go and do it, even though the next week they will start, just to prepare himself. He decided to go early. He can begin to fly all over the world because they can't sack him. You can't sack him except he resigns. You know what I mean now? You can't sack the central bank. Bukwari can't sack him. The National Assembly can't sack him. Sure you get. So it simply means he has to resign, except if he is indicted. Only when you indict him, the National Assembly will now use that indictment. They will now do all this voting to get him removed. Around that time, then it can be removed. You know what they are looking for? You look what they are accusing Emefiele of. About first, they said 89 trillion is missing. Where the money? Number one, there is no 89 trillion anywhere missing. But it is because the same template, the same workbook has been used on those they have targeted in the past, on those the system has targeted in the past. Pure blatant lies that are unsubstantiable. They can't substantiate them, but they really ran with them anyway. Now it is the turn of those who did that. You remember, it was Emefiele who decided to lock all the accounts of the NSAS, advocates back then. It was Emefiele who locked the account of those they said were trading more or releasing information about the Naira exchanges, which is the real information that they don't want the public to see. They blame them. Emefiele blamed them for the crash in Naira. The same Naira that Emefiele and the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Ministry of Finance in Nigeria, the government of Bukwari in Nigeria agreed to, when they were borrowing money, to devalue the Naira. So Emefiele was there all along. But now they are accusing him of funding terrorism. 89 trillion is missing. Emefiele is funding terrorism. It not be a good thing to be alive. Central Bank Governor of Nigeria is wanted by the State Security Service, popularly and generally known as Daura Secret Service, DSS. They are accusing the Central Bank Governor of Nigeria of sponsoring terrorism. That's why they want to interview him. That's why they want to invite him. Did you know that? Did you? Yeah, that's why they were looking for him. Yeah. It's not a rumor, it's real. But it is just what it is, Abi. So Emefiele, before you see him, if Emefiele return to Nigeria tomorrow, and he faced the media to say, now lie you, everything you are hearing, boys, in Nigeria, this is me in Nigeria, there's no DSS. There is that's the typical fraudulent Nigerian public officials, dishonest people. For those who know better, Emefiele will not return to Nigeria until they assure him that they are not going to put sheke for his hand. Because you see this lawless Bukwari's government, like Nnamdi Kanu said, serve Nigeria, return in shame. It be like saying at the turn of Emefiele now. Except somebody quickly called the rabid dogs, the Daura Secret Service, to, hot, cease action, cease fire. Except for that, you can look forward to one of the interesting 2023, where you will see your Emefiele in handcuffs. But again, they have a way they do rub my back, I rub your back. Just like when, what do you call it? When Peter Obi met with Jonathan. He had few things to say, but this Emefiele thing, just a kind of play in my head. You know that kind of a thing, right? If you want to fight me, come and fight. Emefiele, you feel fight?
Those who feel they want to support him, to fight me, come out. Let's fight.
Come out, let's fight, he said. But I have something to share with you. And this is in two pieces. So the first one is going to be the meeting between Jonathan and then Obi. What was said in our usual way. Just listen to the key things they have to say. And the credit as well goes to the channel's television for this piece. Thank you.
No problem. Let me sit down there. We find someone that will find her.
Oh, don't come. No, let's have No, you sit here first.
Why you follow us this time like this? His Excellency, my younger brother, Peter Obi, and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, the national chairman of Labour Party, the director general of the campaign organization, and other senior members of the team. Let me not bother my senator. There are two female senators. You are too oppressive. All right, so first, let me formally welcome you. Daddy, you would have paid the fine if I did not see you. So you are welcome.
Thank you,
I finished my protocol before you came in. So first, let me welcome you and your team. I will be very fast because of the time you have to fly to Asaba. And to thank you for finding time to come and pay the courtesy call on me, because I know the presidential candidates that will come to Inago anytime that I'm here will want to come and pay this respect. So I have to thank you that you are the first, because I came here 2 days ago. Then yesterday, I went to Abakaliki, came back this morning. And after all, use this unique opportunity to encourage you in what you are doing. Nigeria, for us to move forward, we need unity. So many countries, when you talk about in the late 50s, early 60s, there was prediction that Nigeria and XYZ countries will be at par. I don't want to go into mentioning those names. And you normally ask yourself, why are we still where we are? This was predicted by intellectuals, not ordinary people. People who study the world and look at the world trends and predicted that Nigeria, Brazil, India, blah, 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 will be this. All those countries have left us. But we are still where we are. And we Nigerians must ask ourselves one question. Why have we not been able to move with others? There is, in terms of tribal sentiment, racist sentiments, and so on, it's almost every nation. But the degree we have in Nigeria is very debilitating. It's what is pushing us backward. We have a country that we don't believe we belong into that country. Most of our leaders will say Nigeria is not a nation. We have different nationalities. It's a geographical expression, all kinds of terms. And I believe that the young people especially, if we must move forward, we must leave those sentiments aside. Every nation, every country, they have their own history. A Nigerian must see himself as a Nigerian. And we must see ourselves as one. And if I am the president, if the best person to hold a particular office is either from Enugu or from Ibadan or from Sokoto or from Yenagua or from Calabar, it doesn't matter. And until we get to that point, as a nation, we cannot move anywhere. We'll be putting square pegs in round holes and round pegs in square holes because of religious sentiments, tongue sentiments, tribal sentiments. And I believe that this message, in fact, I have for all, every presidential candidate that will see me, is that if by divine providence you win the election, your first responsibility is to unite Nigeria. Without unity, we cannot solve our security problems. Without unity, we cannot solve our economic problems. So if you unite Nigeria, that is the beginning of a new Nigeria and a revolution, development or otherwise, that will take place. I've been listening to comments from, of course, the political leaderships, and sometimes even our supporters do more damage than on our behalf. And I must commend you, because your utterances so far have not shown any division. I must commend you on that. And just keep doing what is right, because you are to be if you win, you'll be a president for the whole nation. You'll not be a president for any group of people. But I must commend the Labour Party, the utterances. Though sometimes people complain about the media, social media supporters. But to you, nobody has made any negative reference about your vision.
Thank you, Jonah. That's exactly what I wanted you to hear from what he said, the disjointed, the disunited Nigeria. That somebody like himself, even when he was president for 5 years, couldn't unite. I mean, it's been there. Sure, you get. Me and you can say we have this magic solution to unite Nigeria if we want to scam the same way others are doing. But he did mention the differences. He did mention the differences in the tongues, differences in almost everything. And he underplayed it like the problems other countries are facing. That's not how it works. He's been president. Now, if he says something and you look at his countenance, when you look at his facial expression and the rest of them, when he was talking about those things, you can tell he knows that Nigeria is done for. That's why he said, that's why he won't tell you, that is why he said, unless we come together to unite. But you know something, Listen, unity is not just a word. Are you with me? There's nothing that will put anybody that is perpetuating injustice, illegality, abuse of power, and the rest of everything that actually pitted Nigerians against their system and their rulers over time. There's absolutely nothing that should put oppressors as well as a unity, these two words, in the same sentence. That's exactly what the likes of Jonathan will say. Many of you believe that you can just tell somebody that let us unite, and that's it. We are united. Oh yeah, we are now united. We have decided to be united. Meanwhile, the injustice that brought about the division, that brought about the wahala in the first place, they didn't just continue. They become even tripled or quadrupled. The victims are piling up, and you are talking about unity. Is that not deceitful? Unity is not just a word. Peace, let's have peace, is not just something you wish for. These are things that have actions that should follow them. Equality, justice, these are the things that naturally they will bring orderliness and they will bring peace. You don't wish for them. So Jonathan should know better. But it is Nigeria. Everybody knows what it is. Until we go our separate ways, respect our different boundaries, understand that we are naturally, as indigenous people, currently living where we found ourselves, have every right to independence of whatever we want. We can decide to chart a new course for ourselves, a different ones that actually like promote growth, development, and peace. Competition, healthy competitions, we say. So you don't just wish for peace. Somebody was kidnapped. Innocent people were killed. You kidnapped someone, you brought him and he faced your court. The court said you have done something wrong. Return him back to where you got him. Pay him off all of these judgment bills and apologize to him if you have to. And you said no, you locked him up. You are waiting for him to die. How then do you turn around and start preaching peace? How contradictory is that? You don't turn around and start preaching peace. We need peace, yo. We need peace, yo. You need peace if you are being honest. It simply means you have to stop injustice. And if you are somebody who is selective in who should get justice or who shouldn't, you have no right to think just saying we need peace, then there should be peace. Like when God created the world. After he said, let there be light, there was light. Let there be water. Let there be this. Let there be that. You don't wish for peace. When millions of people are daily being targeted to become the victims of a ruinous, murderous, terrorist system that has made them targets. You don't preach peace that way. You don't talk about peace. So that's why people like Jonathan should know that, we are taking the message. So let's leave the messenger. So peace is not just a word. Unity is not just a word. Friendship is not just a word. All of this comes with responsibilities and actions that follows them. You take actions, then you are responsible for your actions. You cannot be comfortable in seeing other people suffer because you want them to suffer. You don't like them. You don't like their faces. You don't like what they will say. You don't like how they talk. You forgot that they have the right to do what they do. And if you feel offended, if they break any law, you take them to your courts. That's how you create orderliness. But when you rig the system to punish people because of where they come from, the religion they worship, and other things that you have put in the system to put everyone in danger like this, then don't talk about peace. Stop pretending. He's talking about peace when you have a lot of people under the bondage that is deliberate. All these are deliberate. They are not coincidence. Are they? Of course they are not. So where a weekend in Rivers is not going to live at Tifku. And Tifku is going to always wake up every day to remember that where a weekend will be his nemesis. The latest from the camp of the Port Harcourt Hitler.
Not apply as provided under the law. If other parties apply, P2B came. I gave him the Liberation Stadium. I provided vehicles. I provided security. And the pen, as they go and campaign, they have campaigned. Have they not left? If you want to campaign, apply to us. We will give you the biggest stadium. Do you understand me? Apply. Okay, if you don't have money to pay, I hereby say I will pay for you.
Yes, we get Pepe Debo. I said Pepe Debo.
But you say you will not obey the law. Who told you will not obey the law? Who are you? You must obey the law. So, all these, they are saying all kinds of, you see them on newspaper who don't care about G5. No problem. But they would have every night, they don't allow G5 to sleep. If you watch the governor of Akwa Ibom the other day, when he was talking to one of my colleagues, he said, please, we need you. All these riffraffs are the ones that said they don't need us. So, it's not to talk on paper. Come out. If you know you are too strong, don't apply. Try it. Did you understand me? If you say you have the highest contact in Nigeria, do you understand me? That Chief of Army Staff is your own, Chief of Defense is your own, IG is your own, everybody, DSS, bring everybody that you say you will not apply, then you know that there's fire on the mountain.
With a wiki, let me give you the background story of that video you just watched now, okay? In Rivers State, Wike is not saying he has influence outside Rivers anymore. It's not bragging anymore. But what he is saying to Atiku is that it doesn't matter who is going to win, but PDP will lose. And it will start from Rivers State. There must be no single Atiku's poster. That's PDP presidential candidate. No single Atiku's poster must be pasted in Rivers State. There must not be any single office opened as campaign office for Atiku. If you donate your house for Atiku's campaign, waiting your eyes see, take him. Guess what? Some people dared him. Wike is mad. Wike is saying a joke. We go show him. We go show and say, you know, they control everybody, Baba. All that one on social media. The first set of people that dared him, one of them is in the hospital. I think one died. I don't know if that one died or others escaped. He unleashed his violence on them. They know it was him. He said they are blackmailing him, blah, 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 blah. Sure, you get. That person is recovering from hospital, thanking his God. Other areas where they have dared him, did meetings, they've locked them up. And suddenly, the Department of Tenements and the rest of them properties in Rivers State, they are so active right now. If you think, say you stubborn, you won't defend Atiku, you will die. And it's not saying it publicly. Others have been arrested. You don't see. Have you ever seen where a member of a political party decided to go and buy or purchase a nomination form for a position, and Wike called him? You the craze? Who told you to go and buy a form? And the guy said he has the right. Honorable member of the house. So Wike said they should pick him. The day they picked the guy, they beat him up like a common criminal, and they lock him up for months. So that's why they call him Little Hitler. He's living in his own world. And according to him, by January, he would announce the presidential candidate is going to back in Rivers State, and you can take it to the bank. It's never going to be Atiku. Being a PDP member right now in Rivers State is to say you are Wike's party's member. If them burn you well, you get stubborn, you say Rivers, you go wear your option. No, you're doing it for Atiku, for PDP or what have you. If you die, even Atiku go deny you. And you see that Wike is at the last stage of his desperation and frustration. He said, PDP go lose. They will crash. They go come regroup later to settle. That is his own way. But don't take it to the bank. You can't trust any of them, okay? I'm just saying, as of today, is hell-bent to fight for that O2, okay? Philosopher. Good luck, Egbere Jolantan. Anyway, that's for Wike. Do you want to see other engagements where 1, 2, 3? When I say 1, 2, 3, I'm talking about APC, people destroying people, Labour Party. I like you. I don't want to say bad thing about you. You are like their nemesis. So I just want to see what you're gonna do in the next 2 months. Maybe say, everybody could just say, yeah, well done, go girl, go obedient, go obedient, go obedient. On Arise Television, there was a particular engagement between these 3 groups, political groups. And listen to this. The APC, Egbekegbe, represented by somebody. The Labour Party represented by the former lovely, amazing member of APC, Egbekegbe, also an actor. Very good actor. Okonkwo. No, not Okonkwo. Don't worry, you'll get to see him soon. And the last person is the court jester, Dino Melaye. Now, listen to this, okay? And let's give the credit to this platform as well. Arise Television owned the rights to this clip. We borrow them for educational purposes. Tell them the credit goes to them.
What do you have to say to what Felix Morka just said? He says, look, of all presidents that Nigeria has had, there is no president that has performed as well as President Muhammadu Buhari.
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm already on a Christmas mode. I wouldn't have really loved to use this opportunity to be talking about this. Let me say Merry Christmas to everybody, and I wish you a prosperous New Year. If you listen to the prose that the APC spokesperson or publicity secretary just did, it's just a prose. He talked about his government doing well, no figures. He boasted about, oh, this and that, no statistics. We are tired of being bamboozled with proses. We want actualities. Let me help him with the statistics, and I'm going to be very conversational with it. I will start with the television that we are watching. APC government promised us that before they finish, we'll be watching digital television. They failed. They said they will give us Nigerian Air that will take the place of Nigerian Airways. After the 5th attempt and after spending billions of naira, they failed. They said they are going to take 100 million persons out of poverty. They ended up taking in 133.3 million persons into poverty. They have been busy building pyramids of poverty consistently. They said they were going to, give us 1 naira to $1, and they are ending up giving us 1,000 naira to $1. They met an inflation figure of about 9%. Today we have about 20-something%.
Yeah, Kenneth, I could let you go on, but what about what people are saying are Buhari's legacies in infrastructure development, that he has done a lot. Look at the rail system across the country. Look at the roads. He's built the second Niger bridge, which many governments before now have failed to do.
Good. Let me concede that I'm very excited about the second Niger bridge. But let me also regret that all these infrastructure purportedly built, we are all built on borrowed money, and none was creatively adopted to produce any revenue. None. Meaning that for giving us second Niger bridge, you have taken the next generations into bondage of debts. And they want to situate the debts to the GDP. What a fraud. And they will mention statistics of advanced countries saying that they borrow this to their GDP. GDP is the total of the products and services produced in a country in a year. So when you want to situate your debts to GDP, you have to be a productive country, not a country that is producing nothing. And you're talking about GDP. Right. That is why their revenue can no longer service their debts. So this government of APC has failed. And the most honestly annoying thing is that rather than even trying to get a successor that might even ameliorate the problem, they now made a choice of a candidate that does not even understand statistics.
All right, let me bring in a very quick, I'll bring in Dino before I go back to Felix Morka to respond to what Kenneth Okonkwo has just said. Dino, Melaye, well, the APC says whatever failures that are being perceived of the APC, that the PDP laid the foundation, that the PDP lost the opportunity to lay the right foundation for Nigeria's democracy development in all spheres to take off properly. What say you?
Anyway, I want to start Ijeoma by saying that to start with, I want to advise my brother Felix that the gargantuan, colossal lie he just told, I advise that he apologize to God Almighty And if he's a Christian, he should read Psalm 55 and ask for mercy. And if he's a Muslim, he should tonight do 1,000 astaghfirullah to ask God for mercy in a very civilized. I'm sorry, Ngozi. I'm sorry. My apology, Ngozi. And again, if I will advise that he listens to his elders, because I know that his community, his traditional rulers will summon him to a village meeting for telling this public lie. Having said that, I want to congratulate President Buhari for turning 80. And my prayer is that the Almighty God will grant him long life, will give him sound health, and I wish him well. But to talk about the APC-led administration under President Muhammadu Buhari, I will say in the economy, F9, power, F9, agriculture, F9, security, F9, infrastructure, F9. In fact, F9 parallel. That is what the Buhari administration have given to Nigerians. I don't even need to go into statistics and being scientific. Practical illustration. A bag of rice in 2014 was 8,500. Today it's 45,000 now. Just yesterday, people were flying from Abuja to Lagos for 120,000 naira economy. How much is a loaf of bread today? From 120 naira, a loaf of bread today is over 1,000 naira. There is no poor man's food. Gari is no longer a poor man's food in Nigeria today. Insecurity is pervasive. When Buhari took over power, he promised 3 million jobs per year. At the expiration of his 8 years today, 3 times 8, we are supposed to have generated 24 million jobs. But no, instead, over 50 million people have now joined the unemployment market. So there is no sector of our national life that the Buhari administration or the APC have done well. From the fastest growing economy in Africa.
Let me still stay with you very quickly. Dino, if you'll allow me, the president only just returned from the U.S. Africa Leadership Summit in the United States, and he met with Joe Biden, the U.S. president, who did not spare any words in praising President Muhammadu Buhari's legacy in deepening democracy, not only in Nigeria, but in the rest of Africa. And President Buhari himself has said if there's any legacy he wants to leave behind, free, fair, and credible elections. Dino, very quickly before I bring in Felix.
Yeah, I want to say that is totally incorrect. The legacy he will be leaving behind is now, if in 2023 he conducts a free, fair election, then he will leave one legacy, and that will be the only legacy. So it is not correct for the president himself to say yesterday that he tried his best, but his best was not good enough. That's a confessional statement. That is self-acceptance of failure. He agreed, the president agreed that I have failed because he said his best was not good enough. In every ramification today in this country, this government have failed. We are more disunited than even during the Civil War. The unity of this country is more important than the economy and other. But today, there is no unity in this country. There is, agitation in every part of Nigeria. There is poverty all over our faces. From the fastest growing economy in Africa, we have become the poverty capital of the world. So what I'm saying in essence is simple, that the APC have brought nothing other than pain, sorrow, death, insecurity to the.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
How many times would they tell you that Nigeria is not for you? You know why I played that? I knew they were always going to touch on unity, this unity of this country is so divided. It's not because they care about any unity, kaka, but it's because somehow, the fraudulent unity they have been propagating for decades is no longer tenable. A lot of us have now seen that it's actually a fake unity, fake one Nigeria, fake this, fake that, everything fake. So you can no longer lie to us. So they are now preaching unity. We need unity. We need somebody that's going to come and unite everybody. Even when the first lady, they call you.
Shay, help us, help us. There is God, there is God, God. God should descend, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet?
Nígbà tá à ń gbàdúrà ká bọ́ lọ́wọ́ òkú ayé kan tá a sì ń wò pa ń bọ́ ń bẹ̀ lọ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́ ìwọ Ọlọ́run kí lè ṣe wa lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà gan tó tún wá gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mìíràn bọ̀ kọ́ọ̀lù burúkú lélẹ̀ abẹ́ ìbí ṣe à ń wò bí kọ́ọ̀lù.
It is what it is, as they say out there. You choose your own poison and get to know the ingredients your poison is made of. Probably you have an idea, the slow death that you are going to suffer after swallowing it. That poison is your choice. It's not poison in the real poison. I'm talking about your choices are either going to be vitamins or be poison. It will be any of them. Now, if you are making choices that are terrible with the people that are always like almost near their graves. Now, Bokwari turned around and said he's done his best, even though his best may not be enough. Now, una fuck up. Now, una cause him. Shebi now una make him. May him come back the second time. Those who got the drill after this message back then, they quickly responded like this one.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
That what that little kid said there was that now I understand. In fact, I understand it perfectly now. So if you don't get it, like they say, if you don't get it, all of this I've said, if you don't get it, about the best thing, just forget about it. Professor.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
That's it. So this is where I'm going to draw my own curtains as we follow everything as they happen. Let us continue to demand for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And at the same time, let us continue to keep the record of all they are doing so that you don't pretend that you are shocked or surprised if they pull any stunts, which their propaganda will not be able to cover. Keep all of this. And then, yes, we wait for that moment that they will finally realize that the only saving grace they are likely going to get out of all of this, out of all the crimes they have committed, is just to let him go. But we demand for all it takes, that Nnamdi Kanu should not die in the hands of these criminals. Because from what we know, it's not just going to be a death like every other death. And we will continue to speak out. This time around, this is not like a makeup. This is real, life-threatening, heart problem caused by the, endless persecution, endless torture, and endless incarceration of a man that is just asking for a legitimate, democratic referendum. He said if the Igbos choose to remain in Nigeria by their choice, it will go away, it will disappear, and you will never hear from him again. Or no, they don't want to give it a test. They want him dead. I don't think Nigeria is prepared for what is likely going to come after that. They don't care. Not that they care. But with the level of division that we are witnessing today, the division brought about by APC, I can tell you this for free. It will lead everyone to one spot, the Armageddon. And if it's avoidable right now, as everyone is speaking out, it should be this time and tell these criminals they've had all their field, they've lost. But if it is all about ego, they are likely going to end up where they are not planning. As some will say, before they begin to ask for help, we should first tell them. That's they say, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Nothing will happen. Are you sure? Are you really sure that nothing will happen if anything happened to Nnamdi Kanu? Like in this manner. Okay, I'll leave you to it. So thank you very much for your time. I'm going to try and see if I can take calls, okay? Meanwhile, prayer docent, I got your message, ma, okay? And Idris is very, very, very happy with your generosity. I've reached out to him. The other person you want me to reach out to is, in fact, let me get the name again. Maybe the person is actually watching, or maybe they watch later, okay? So let me see your message with what you send. Mayegun, please help me give 20 pounds equivalent to Idris from last night. And you also said I should give the same 20 pounds equivalent to Fatai Musbao. Fatai Musbao, how you doing? Prayer docent sent me to you. So if you have a chance of seeing this broadcast, if you are with us now, or if you see this later, all you have to do is to send me a personal message, okay? Somebody wants me to give you, a Naira equivalent of 20 pounds, okay? And if I look at that, that should be somewhere around 17, 18,000 Naira, or even maybe 19, okay? I can even help you make it a round figure, 20,000 Naira, okay? So just get in touch as soon as you can. So like I said, prayer docent, we are grateful to you and for your generosity. Also, another additional information is this. On the Telegram, Yoruba Union Telegram last night, where people have been making personal requests that they want to send contribution and add to this family support program of ours. I have a caller. I'm going to beg my caller to hang on. See, my caller, I need to go and make a cup of tea. Ahmed, you want here? Merry Christmas. So I've been Barricade Christmas, Lamaki Ensin. But hang on, Ahmed.
Barricade Christmas,
Barricade Christmas. Okay, I'm coming. Hang on there, Baba. No go anywhere. So just between last night and then this morning, less than 12 hours, less than 24 hours. So people have contributed additional 350,000 Naira to the 2.7 million Naira we have remitted towards this project, which is great. People will be going out on the 27th of December, starting from Lagos to Ishagami in Ogun, to Ojaoba in Ibadan, to Ile-Ife in Osun, and to other places in Ondo, Ondo, Ekiti, Kwara, and Kogi. We will go around, and we believe that the logistic part of our project is almost done. So I was having a little joke with the princess when she sent me a clip, a video of, she's under, what do you call it? She's in fact carrying out her own personal charity. So she said that somebody contacted her after seeing what we are planning to do on Mayegun's Diary Political, a member or somebody who is on this platform as well. So they contacted Princess and said, "Look, Princess, before you do that Yoruba Union program, I saw that you are so involved. Maybe you can help me. I want to give support to 35 widows and widowers in, any community you like to choose. Princess, just choose. So privately, an individual person make that contribution. So Princess, they were giving out 5 kg of rice to people, And they were giving them live chicken. And I said, Princess, how much is that live chicken? And she said, each one is 3,500 naira. I said, if you want 500 of that live chicken, that is just a patry 1,750,000 naira, 1.7 million, I don't know, 1.750 million naira. That is 1,750,000 naira. I said, that's not much. I wish I haven't really emptied all my, my pay. But it's actually not much if time is not against us. You, Princess, you have poultry. You are trading in chickens and all this stuff about, you know what I mean? Now you are doing this on the side that we have no clue about. And I felt so jealous that we are just giving out just a bag of rice as well as a spaghetti. And she said, Mayegun, don't press yourself, okay? Although it's not much, but it can be done in the future program. And I said, okay, but the future won't be Christmas. And the future won't be end of the year. The future will just be like other days in the coming year. And she was like, yeah, we should be grateful. And I am grateful to every one of you who turned up. So in overall, we can say now that we raised 2.2 million and 50,000 naira from the generosity of all of you. And this platform added 1 million naira to the money we raised. To say we now raised over 3 million naira that will be supporting over 500 families. Ahmed, I was going to go and make tea. But would you give me just a second? Yeah, would you give me just a second to just go and do that? Is that all right? Ahmed.
Hey, my Baba.
Yeah, you know, I'll just go make myself a cup of tea. My tea is empty and it's like gone. God bless you. Now, everyone who is still with us, please stay on, share the broadcast if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't as well, and then also, like the video if you haven't, and stay back. Pick up your phone and call in if you want to add to this. So, Merry Christmas, like I said from the start. I am going to be back in a minute or two.